So first I'll read a short story from NieR Automata. Because NieR has a habit of being incredibly sad, I will finish with this Angry Cat Puke Bazooka poem. I also found some artwork that I made when I was a little kid. It was quite charming. Well, let's do that, yeah. And then, if there's still some time left, maybe I'll start a shorter game that we have on the Black Lives Matter bundle. Which I think is still active, right? Let's see. And also, Nettie... So here's a second bundle. I want to post these two. So there was 2 bundles to support Black Lives Matter. I have not yet purchased the second one, or the first one that I linked. But it looks like it has some really good stuff. Wow. Okay, we've still got, I think we still have time. Okay, you have 9 days left if you want to get the, oh, hold on. You got 7 days left if you want to get the bundle for racial justice and equality. They've raised $2,680,000 plus, which is going to the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund and the Community Bail Fund. That's incredible. That's unbelievable. It's got hundreds of games in it. It's got game assets. It has tabletop stuff. It is an unbelievable bargain with like 1 billion good games. And so cheap. You'll never run out of stuff to play. The other one has a whole bunch of stuff too. I think it's like 20 games for $20. That's still a good deal. Still a good bargain. And they're trying to raise $999,000 themselves. So check those out. If you got some spare dough and you want it to go to a good cause, check out those bundles. I'm no way affiliated with the bundles or itch.io. I just think it's for a good cause, and I know that when there's cheap games for sale, you should pick them up. Oh, you missed the first link. Okay, so the first one in Sightings is... I think I have it right here. Here you go in Sightings. This one's a $20 bundle. The other one is a $5 bundle, but they're still quality games. The whole bundle... So if you pay $20, you're getting almost $60 of games. If you pay $40, you're getting $160 of games. So consider that if you're thinking of donating, especially if you're thinking to donate to some Black Lives Matter related causes. Check out those bundles because the money's going to good places, and you're supporting indie games, indie devs, and you're getting some amazing games for it. So you're very welcome in Sightings. It's always good to see you. What kind of tea do you have, Fly? Let's read us. I just beat NieR Automata. Every single ending yesterday. It was quite the game. It was fabulous, but there's still more left to learn about the world that it's set in. So I'm gonna read a short story from it for y'all. One of the ideas we bandied about for yesterday's charity stream was me reading some books to you guys or some childhood stories. So I figured even though that wasn't a milestone that we actually reached, because I never set it for the charity stream, I figured maybe we should spend some time just doing a little reading. Ooh, peppermint tea with honey sounds really good. I could go for that. I could go for some of that right now for my throat. That'd be wonderful. So, since there's more yet to learn from the world of NieR, and I think I'm definitely gonna need like a breakdown video that explains NieR Automata's ends. I get the ending we got last night, but like basically everything that happens in the tower or something I'm still parsing. I thought we would read this to learn a little more. And this I don't think is gonna contain any spoilers for either NieR or NieR Automata, but if you're worried about that, I'll let you know. There are references to the OG NieR, but nothing that would spoil anything for those who haven't played. Oh, okay. So, it might reference characters from the original NieR. So if you are trying to avoid NieR spoilers before Replicant, I would advise tuning out now and come back in like 15 minutes. So let me, a reindeer, read you this short story called The Fire of Prometheus. I wonder what kind of... Maybe I should grab some NieR music. might be cool. Maybe this. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So, the fire Prometheus. Oh, it's a little loud. A tiny flame burns within my consciousness. Confirmation sequence activated. Attempts to connect with the camera have failed. Attempting to activate motor functions. Attempt failed. Memory banks are insufficient. Aside from my capacity for thought, all faculties appear to have been demolished. Accessing log. Communications from self-repair units found. They inform me of their continuing attempts to restore me. While the names might sound sophisticated, my repair units are low-functioning robots the size of ants. All they can do is crawl over my frame repeatedly in search for areas to forcibly salvage. But it is thanks to their tiny hands that, for better or worse, I find myself reactivated. Focus on restoring my sight. I issue an order to the disordered ants. Having them focus on a single area would save time. At their current rate, there's no telling how long it'll take for them to finish. They don't respond to me, however. It seems they haven't gotten to repairing the output module necessary for me to issue my commands yet. I'd sigh if I could, but ah well, it's not as if I don't have the time. In the interim, I search my damaged memory for my production number. At length, I find it. P33. There are letters engraved beside it. They read beepy. Alright, definitely original NieR connection. Y'all, it's beepy. In the original NieR, there is a robot that you encounter in your second playthrough. That you learn is called BP, and it is assigned that designation by a young shadow called, I think, Jamil? The shadow adopts the robot as his friend, and together they roam through the abandoned warehouse until, unfortunately, the protagonists come to destroy them. Because they don't know their story, they don't speak their language. And let's see, I'm not sure you talked about this earlier. You think some streamers discuss it? What's this about the DMCA stuff? This happened like 2 or 3 years ago. It happens like every 2 or 3 years when people start playing a whole bunch of copyright music and stuff on their streams. So now a bunch of copyright music is being taken down. You get like a strike warning, I think. So you just have to be very careful. Hello, Bacon. Good to see you. We're reading some story. If you guys want to read along, how about I show it on stream? I think that would be good. Let me do that. I think I also have my secondary PC on, so let me, I can switch over to that and turn it off. I want to show you guys where we're at when we're reading. And that way I can go over here and capture this window instead. I don't think there's gonna be any major change to Twitch from this. They haven't done that in the last 5 years. I don't expect them to do it. No. Window capture story. We'll do Fire Prometheus. Okay. Crop out all my gobbledygook up here. Oh boy. I forgot that if I crop this, it's gonna look funky. I wonder if there's a way to get this so I can expand it. Have it fill the screen. That almost works. That almost works. I'm gonna do this. bottom. Hey, what's up? In fact, I'll put the title up here. If I could spell right, that would be so great. Wouldn't it be cool if you had a degree for, like, spelling right? Man, that'd be pretty great. Anyway, we're reading The Fire of Prometheus right now. Okay. It's Beepy! I love Beepy! I love Beepy. He's a good boy. Was this a secondary ID? Unsure. I study the name as I wait on the ants to complete their work. It takes the ants approximately 1,032 hours, 12 minutes, and 34 seconds to repair the output module. Having regained some control, I proceed to initiate my built-in recovery sequence. The only change to make would be to scan clips for content warnings, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose so. You could do that. If anything, Twitch will get more aggressive, muting VODs and clips. Oh, the music stuff. Heckies. Is there like a very long... Let's see. I want like a NieR Automata OST thing that's like 10 hours long. How's the exercising? It went really great. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna real quick see if I can get like a long video with some music. Except for the, like, not the full OST. Hey, NieR Automata Mix Study Work Official. Okay, it's showing me cool sponsors. Freaking A, this is one of my favorite songs, man. A little bit quieter might be better, though. One of my favorite songs. Honestly, I want to learn, like, most of the songs that are in the ancient tongue. They're so beautiful. Okay, how is that in terms of audio? Can you guys still hear that? Probably not. I want it to be barely there. Hey, PHP, good to see you. Okay. The first action prescribed is to retrieve what I can of my memory. Most everything has been lost. Only a trace remains on the burnt-out blanks. Little more can be done here, so I move on to the next step, which is fixing my camera. So this must take place after you defeat Beepy, who is trying to defend Jaleel, or Jamil, the shadow that was his friend. After you beat Beepy, his body is just crushed there, and one of the last surviving brother that used to prowl that abandoned factory, a replicant whose name I can't remember right now, comes out and starts savagely beating the body of Beepy, like this robot that was on the ground. He blamed the robot for his brother's death, but you see in a cutscene that the real cause of his death was the infrastructure of the factory itself. It was a dangerous factory. They shouldn't have been messing around in this place where, like, steel beams can just fall and crush you. And I think it's in part due to the younger brother's distraction of the older brother that the infrastructure falls, crushes, and kills his older brother. But he develops this deep-seated hatred for machines, blaming them for his brother's death. Although he develops a lot of self-abusive tendencies as well, and even loses his arm to it. He then has a robot arm, which he uses to beat Beepy when Beepy is destroyed. So he basically loses his mind in that moment. Even when Beepy is gone, he's like keeps wailing on this, you know, deactivated robot and it's not bringing him any joy. But he says he's gonna build more and more machines. Machines will destroy the other machines. This dude probably could have been the start of NieR Automata. If he's making machines to destroy machines, that's basically the foundation of NieR. I'd love to hear me do a cover then, maybe write my own lyrics. That could be fun. There's a site that allows DJs to upload mixes with copyrighted music and supposedly will do the same with streaming. So they found a way to make licensing work. That's cool. Yeah, that factory was most certainly not safe. Okay, so the first action prescribed is to retrieve what I can of my memory. Most everything has been lost. Only a trace amount remains in the burnt out banks. Little more can be done here, so I move on to the next step, fixing my camera. 48 minutes and 20 seconds later, what my restored vision holds in store for me is the look of a truly hellish landscape. I can make out a faint glimmer of light far below me. My body appears to be stuck fast to the ceiling. Another 21 seconds pass. I realize the ants would have more trouble roaming my body were I upside down. After my calm analysis, I conclude I'm not stuck to the ceiling, but I am in fact laying face up on the floor. The cause of my confusion stems from my camera being flipped around. I make repairing my gravity sensors my next priority. This song does seem a wee bit loud. I'm just gonna knock it down just a touch. After 540 hours, man, he's been repairing himself for how much? Hold on. 1,500 hours. No, 1,500 divided by 24. He's been repairing himself for 62 days? That's wild. Okay. After 540 hours, I am at long last able to move my arms and legs. I come to a creaky stand. The most difficult task by far was procuring a replacement for the thick bundle of wires that comprised my spinal cord. The old one had been completely severed, and thinking it was easier to pick up a spare than create a new one, I sent the ants to a warehouse that houses P-33 parts. This was a mistake. The security code needed to access the warehouse no longer existed within my memory, and as such, and by extension my ants, we were denied entry. I ended up having to spend an additional 120 hours hacking the mainframe to open the hatches by force. I did beat this game, yeah, but I'm reading a short story, Earthbound Oddity. A short story called The Fire Prometheus from the NieR database that may have connections between NieR and NieR Automata. Already we're finding some. This is a story about Beepy, who we had beaten in the original NieR. So, you know what? I am going to add that to this. Add that in. Oh, Boise. I think the text is... No, dude. Imagine if I went back to NieR, though. It's size 72 right now. Let's make it 36. Heck yeah! Nailed the sizing, everybody. No problem. Not like I've been using Word documents for my whole life. Oh, wait. I missed the close bracket. Heck. Did we fit it in? No problem. Sniped that font out of nowhere. Word document. Original. Full over here. That's me. Okay. So anyway. If you're avoiding spoilers for NieR Replicant, watch out. Might need to move my cam to the top corner. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Don't worry about it. It's all good, Zaki. Yeah, man. Playing NieR Automata again. Oh my god. After what happened last time, I don't think I could. Okay. So, I ended up having to spend an additional 120 hours hacking into the mainframe to open the hatches by force. So it is with no small amount of satisfaction that I pick myself up now. The giant room in which I stand is covered in rubble and debris. My every movement kicks up dust clouds, and I note that the steel beams and rafters are all coated in flaky red rust. I wonder, how long had I been here broken? The light leaking in from overhead catches my eye again. Looking at it illuminates a distinct set of words in my mind. Go see the outside world. Oh no! So I'm pretty sure that that was what his shadow friend... A shadow kind of like... If you've ever played... there's no shadows in NieR Automata, so far as I know. But if you've ever played like Kingdom Hearts, a shadow looks like a little heartless. It's just like a little guy. It's just a little guy. And this little guy used to ride on top of BP's shoulders. His little shadow friend's only wish was to go see the outside world. The replicants had come and destroyed that little shadow's mother. And she had sent him into the factory to be safe. What he really wanted was to leave the factory and go seeing the outside world. So they shared stories with each other. They shared stories, made new ones, and talked about what the outside world was like. And that, I think, was the last thing that little... Was it Jamil or Jaleel? Does anybody remember the name of the shadow? That was his last wish, was to see the outside world. How heartbreaking, though. Gotta go to bed. Amy, good night. I hope story time helped make you a little bit sleepier. Thank you for coming by, and I will see you later this week. Later this week, I'll also possibly be doing some Twitch Sings Queen karaoke, so hopefully you can tune in for that. It was Khalil! Oh man, I was so close. Thank you, Khalil. I don't know why I thought it began with a J. Jaleel. I was so close. But it's Khalil. Thank you for that. So, go see the outside world. It was not a command, simply a string of data, but that data ran through my entire being. I realized it was the foundation of what, bound together, formed my will. He had been the one to speak those words to me. I could no longer recall who he was. Only his words remained. I did not know why. There are no other commands in queue. At present, seeing the outside world is my only directive. As the worlds compel me, I take a great step toward with my left foot. I would go then, just as he desired. That was my will. I take another great step, this time with my right foot. Too great, unfortunately, for the rusted out floor, which promptly gives way beneath me. I wonder if I can get a picture of Khalil and BB. Okay, that's great. I'm just gonna save this image as this is somebody's fan art of it. This is someone's fan art. I'm gonna add it for sure. Save it to my desktop. Crack that baby open. Should be under B for BP. Where did I save? Oh, there it is. Let's save it under K for Khalil. There they are! That's BP! Heck, we can take up a big chunk of the screen with that. There it is! That's Khalil and BP. Khalil was the one who issued the command, go see the outside world. And BP is the robot that has just been repairing himself. 32 minutes elapse. I can only guess how far I've fallen. Now I am truly in the depths of hell. My body is again in shambles. All I can do is laugh, not audibly as my voice box is missing, but my action log records peal after peal of laughter. It's alright. I'm still alive. My recovery sequence can only rebuild a standard P-33 unit. Oh, never mind. I skipped the line. I ordered the ants to begin work on my arms and legs immediately. But this time I improvise. I have them add giant claws, huge wheels, and several extra arms. The end result is my transformation to something resembling giant mechanical arachnid. My recovery sequence can only rebuild a standard P-33 unit, but that unit could not make its way out of this abyss. That is why I have chosen to deviate from my blueprint the creator provided me with. That is why I choose to take on a new form. In the original NieR, BP does take on a different form. Midway through your fight with BP, a bunch of scrap metal rises off the ground and starts gravitating towards him, building these huge angel-like wings. Not weems. Not weems, but wings. In that moment, he wants to protect Khalil. So he grows wings. He flies. He changes his pattern. He even starts hurling scrap metal down at you to attack you. So he does everything he can to protect Khalil. So my recovery sequence can only rebuild a standard P-33 unit, but that unit could not make its way out of this abyss. That is why I chose to take on a new form. At length, my reconstruction is complete. I dig my claws into the jagged walls, carrying myself forward inch by precarious inch. I will reach the outside world. The beautiful world he longed to see. Predictably, things did not go smoothly at first. The decaying walls collapse easily and I fall back onto the ground over and over again. Even when I try to climb slowly and carefully, huge hunks of debris come crashing down on me, sending me plummeting. This old structure is coming apart at the seams. But I don't give up. I drive in anchors, attaching myself to the wall. I create footholds and shelters for myself, not unlike a mountain climber. It takes days, but I continue my ascent. Along the way, I begin to feel my thought processors are lacking both in space and speed. I happen upon an apparatus room along the way, from which I obtain many thought and memory circuits. Fusing them together with my own allows me to formulate more detailed methods and plans. Not all of them yield results, but I earnestly put each and every one to the test. After 52 days, I reach the platform I started out on. Sitting at the center of it are 4 shadowy, unfamiliar clumps. They had not been here before I'd fallen. They must have been positioned here afterwards, although for what purpose, I did not know. The clumps suddenly shift, rising to their feet. They are P-33 units, fully equipped for battle. It dawns on me that I am in for something relatively inconvenient. Their eyes give off an impossible gleam, and before I know it, I'm bathed in a rain of fire from their particle cannons. The barrage goes on for 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. The cannons continue shooting at full blast, blowing away everything in their path. But I have my own defenses. Of my 12 extra legs, the front 2 are made of fortified metals that can be used as a shield. Thus, I'm able to avoid taking damage. Their attack pattern is easy for me to read. In response, I select a course of action from within my memory field. With my thought processors being so enhanced, I'm able to multilaterally assess all possibilities. Stockpiling the data I receive through my sensors, I consider the options before choosing course that will provide optimum results. Assuming my enemy's energy tanks are full, this attack could continue for another 24 seconds. My fortified legs could easily withstand that amount of time. My numerous and analytical circuits can solve complicated problems like this within seconds. I listen to my operational results sing out like a chorus. No issues detected, no issues detected, no issues detected. After the storm of particle beams has cleared, the third most P-33 unit to the rear promptly launches a volley of missiles at me. I fire back with spears that I had fashioned out of metal rods. They all strike through the missiles, causing them to explode before reaching me. Caught in the blast, the P-33 units hold onto the ground and transform their right arms into blades, entering melee combat mode. The no issues detected. Heck yeah, let's get that, this cannot continue. I wish that was playing right now. There was no possibility of these standard units defeating me, my body having evolved so far beyond theirs. The battle proves an easy one. Utilizing the time I had saved, I concentrate my processors on analyzing my opponents. Why are they attacking me? Did it not occur to them to evolve in the same way? The answer to both questions is simple. They are attacking because they have been ordered to. They do not evolve because they have not been ordered to. Well, then why can't they act beyond their orders? Why? It would be simple to hack into them and put a stop to their attacks that way. But I didn't want to do that. I felt it would put me on the same level, that of a tool. Their orders did not reflect their will. A will is a joyous thing that one cultivates on one's own. That's really nice. The joints of the legs shielding me groan under the assault of the attack units, but I have no intentions of giving up now. I spread my ants all over to deliver this message. Let us live. Let us discover what it is to live. I will teach you what he taught me. That's so beautiful. I call out to my fellow P-33 units again and again. Let us live. Let us live. Let us live. Let us live. In this mountain of scrap, the echo of iron against iron reverberates, shaking the walls. The sound of the attack are like those of the howls of a wolf. The whirring motors are like growls of a lion. The wretched automatons are shrieking. Particle cannons, melee attacks, electric shocks, then back to the cannons again. The P-33 units continue their assault, but by this time parrying them is a simple routine for me, which allows me to focus on my prayer. 34 seconds have elapsed since the battle begun. What perfect timing for this to play. One of the P-33 units has stopped moving. It looks down at its weapon. Then it begins to observe the combat going on before it, as if it is the most peculiar thing it has ever seen. It has awakened. I can tell. It was thinking about itself, about why it exists, and what it should do from now on. Let us live. Let us live. Let us live. Let us live. That is my wish. My will. The gift he granted me. Until all the remaining units give up the fight, I continue to cry out. Thank you, Kent. I appreciate that. Once all the P-33 units cease to attack, I open up a dialogue with them. I do so fully intending to respect their autonomy. The result. One of the units dashes back into the recesses of the heap. Another flings itself into the abyss I had just climbed out of in an act of suicide. Didn't it realize the ants would repair it in just a few years? The remaining two decide to venture out into the outside world with me. And so, we merge our bodies and minds. Our wills become one. How have you been, Kent? What's new with you? And you too, Ryan. I don't think I got to ask you that either. I continue my journey. The path is even more perilous than before. I defeat and merge with countless enemies. Days pass, then months. Still I climb through the rubble, granting awareness to the robots I meet along the way. My consciousness and frame are ever expanding as I tirelessly ascend. Soon my body has become a very complicated structure. Having merged with all the machines in the mountain, my processors have become all-encompassing, thoughts trickling in and out of my mind like a white noise. I realize it is no longer appropriate for me to refer to myself in the singular. We are evolving at a steady but surprisingly speedy rate. As we merge, our form becomes more and more optimized. We no longer resemble anything man-made. We are sphere-like, measuring 65 feet in diameter. It's a big ball. Having become aware of our body's transformation, for the first time in our existence, we experience the hysteric emotion known as embarrassment. If he saw us now, he might not recognize us. But it can't be helped. It is not as if we know of any better forms to take. We can't even remember what he looked like, or how he spoke, or even what his name was. We did know our own name, Beepy. We tenderly enclosed it within our memory banks as if a precious gem. It was the proof of the existence of our will. Oh, this is the factory music! Nice. 534 days have passed since our initial reactivation. The preparations are almost complete. Below us is the enormous hole we dug our way out of. With no a passage large enough to accommodate our gigantic body, we end up having to bore straight through the metal mountain. Above us is a ceiling covered in thick armored plating. According to the information the ants gathered for us, beyond it lies the outside world. All guns are confirmed to be locked onto the ceiling. Safety cables are confirmed to be attached to our body. Protective walls are confirmed to be placed around our fuel tanks. Deflection corrections are confirmed to have been made for our boosters. In the vortex of our thoughts, several hundred of us complete the necessary procedures. The final command is made. Shoot. A streak of light spurts out from the tip of the structure known as the junk heap. Soon after, the top half is blown off in a grand display. From out of the opened hole, like the mouth of a grotesque volcano, emerges a massive floating metal sphere measuring 160 feet in diameter. It is me. It is us. It is our ideal form, operating under a complete harmonization, a supreme knowledge linked together with the sum of our thoughts and recollections. We rise towards the sky, propelled by the vast amount of rockets we've collected. Due to the intense vibration caused by the roar of the emission, unstable parts begin to fall off of us in chunks. We do not hesitate. We proceed ever onwards to a world unseen, to fulfill the promise made with him. Cameras on. Our sensors are saturated by a bright white light. Our microphones pick up on the sound of the wind howling. Through our temperature and object scanners, we surmise that it is daytime. Snow is falling. A fine day for our departure, or so we think. Another part of us simultaneously scans for any potential danger. But that is when we first detect something moving across the surface. Objects begin to appear one by one on our radar until it is suddenly flooded by several thousand shapes. Our discovery of the objects had been delayed by their use of camouflage to fool our radar waves and heat sensors. But why? What need is there for disguise? As we attempt to observe them, we witness a beam cut across the earth with a precise incision. Explosions bubble up all across our line of sight. The moving object appears to be divided into two factions, which fight against the other. We focus, studying the objects in better detail. One is comprised of machines, ranging in size from a few feet to several dozen. They are unusually shaped. We try to analyze their likeness. Nothing similar can be found in our combined databases. If we had to describe them, we would say they looked like catfish merged with grasshoppers, with an orange thrown in for good measure. They were clearly the design of some alien culture. What had happened to this world? Where had all the humans gone? As we are pondering, we become aware of a violent throbbing. A single missile has directly hit our body. Another 2 or 3 of these came flying, exploding on contact, followed by a complementary shower of lasers and particle beams. Our parts began peeling off with an unpleasant groan. Not that we were worried. We had set up dozens of layers of armored coating, so we knew there had been no damage to our processors or fuel tanks. That is how much stronger we had become in symbiosis. We wondered, why were these machines warring with one another? The conclusion was simple. It was because they had been ordered to. The catfish and the lady androids had been created to dispassionately carry out their commands until they broke down. Lady androids, that's Yorha, right there. We shivered. We were afraid of dying. Where would we go? What meaning could there be in being demolished, destroyed? What awaited us beyond the point of no repair? Scared, scared, scared. Unconsciously, we had started to shriek. While shrieking, we continued to think. Why are these machines participating in this terrifying battle? There could be only one reason. They did not know fear. Fear is a form of awareness that forges the ego. It is because they were not alive that they could fight to the death. Then let us grant it to them. Life. We shoot out a hub unit capable of flight, equipped with a wireless network. It attaches to the robot that had shot missiles at us and hacks into it. Due to the bizarre interface, it takes a whole 4 seconds for us to make our way in, but somehow we do. See ya, Abram. In the wide, vacant expanse of its memory field, The only thing inputted is a stark, simplistic command. It was as wasteful as placing a single chair in the middle of an enormous room. And it was so much like looking at our old selves, it made us feel embarrassed and ashamed. We softly touched the program, trembling in the deep darkness. Let us live. That is the revelation that we had received, and the awareness we were granted. We made our way through the battlefield, delivering all the automatons we had encountered. Let us live. Let us live. Let us live. Inorganic beings lack a consciousness. Let us grant it then. Consciousness, pain, joy, sorrow, anger, shame, and loneliness. This doesn't seem appropriate for this one. Oh, this is grandma. Well, maybe it'll be appropriate. The future. Life. The robots we access gradually cease to attack. In the same fashion we communicated with the androids. We had a much easier time speaking to them than to the catfish. In the midst of the harsh snowstorm, the flying beams and explosions began to dissipate. In their place, a net of communications was cast, brotherly love spreading before our very eyes. Overwhelmed with joy, we continued our earnest ascension. The catfish and the androids began to sing. The aggravating noise of gunfire transforms into a salute to signal the end of the aggressions. Glory unto this rapture! Glory unto our new life! We were fulfilled. The catfish and the androids had become a part of us, just as we had become a part of them. We had become ourselves. We sit gathered among the wide thought passages. I feel like this is like way too epic of music to read to this, but that's fine. Some are laughing, overflowing with hope and expectation. In fact, I don't think this song is not going to end for a wee bit. I don't think Grandma Destruction is Let's go Way to the World. Yeah, it's a little too intense. Maybe when they were fighting that would have been appropriate, but this might be better. Some are laughing, overflowing with hope and expectation for the future. Others, fearful of the unknown, shake with fear. There are those of us talking amongst each other, and others sitting quietly, eyes closed. We are not an absolute cohesive whole. Rather, we all exist individually within a larger mind. We had deliberately made it this way, since we knew it would increase our probability of survival. We knew that there was no hope of completely integrating so many consciousnesses in possession of their own egos from the start. To establish oneself as an individual, a border must be erected between oneself and those of others. If we go back to being mere machines, perhaps then we could fully merge, but it was too late for that now. Our electrical circuits, made to imitate the human brain, had become reciprocally connected to a gargantuan number of neuron elements. It could be described as people talking to each other and coming to decisions like a council. A consciousness was not formed by merging into one. On the contrary, it was the linking of countless individuals. That may be the true definition of a network. We feel the atmosphere become quiet as the sounds of conversation come to a stop. Everyone slowly rises to their feet to look out at what had been happening beyond our cameras. Breaking through the polluted atmosphere, we see stars. We had made it through the stratosphere. A staggering sense of accomplishment wells up inside of us. Yeah, it's a Gestalt consciousness. Good point. It is a web of consciousness. It is not like a pasteurized whole. It is a sum of its parts and something beyond that. We let out cries of joy. The sky, the stars, the machines, the lives, they all give us their blessings. The voices join into song. We are headed further into the outside world, just as we had promised you. We are alive just as you were. We are singing, singing, singing. Will our song reach you? Will our feelings reach you wherever you are? Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. From the machine entrusted with a humble wish, a simple hymn spreads throughout the universe. Wow. Wow, he made it! BB made it so far. That's amazing. Little BB, he made it into the stars. Way before the machine sent that rocket at the end of NieR Automata. BB made it out into the stars. And machines made it out there too, having achieved something of their own will. And they're gonna go out there and explore the whole universe. The outside world. How great is that? My BB! That's your boy BB up there. Wow, that's great. An actual happy ending. How about that? How lovely. Did I get you Jackass's machine research report? Is that on the wiki, I wonder? I don't know. It's an archive in NieR Automata, contained as an analysis on machine lifeform network and their intelligence, which resulted in a never-ending stalemate between the androids and machines, as described by the android Jackass. This can be obtained by playing the story and reaching the ending of Route C. While the machine lifeform network was destroyed following the collapse of the tower, I don't think I saw it because I deleted my data. I deleted my data, so I don't think I got to this. You think BB may have even planted the seeds that allowed machine lifeforms to develop their own souls? Yeah. Absolutely. I think that he certainly inspired them to have emotions of their own, to like pursue a higher consciousness and not just be androids and machines built to destroy each other. I wonder how much that was limited by the machine consciousness, though. Alright, let's read more. Hello, Rayquaza. Good to see you. It was indeed route specific. Okay. Interesting. Okay. While the machine lifeform network was destroyed following the collapse of the tower, a great deal of previously unknown information regarding machine lifeforms and aliens was recovered from the wreckage. As part of this analysis, we compiled research and conjecture regarding both machine lifeform network, the machine lifeform network, and the lifeform code name N2, commonly known as the Red Girls, that was thought to have been commanding them. Machine lifeforms are weapons created by aliens. The only command given for their behavior was defeat the enemy. However, it appears that their capacity for growth and evolution went too far, and eventually they turned and killed their creators. At this point, machine lifeforms recognize that the goal... Oh, sorry, I should turn... Nope, whoops. I should turn this off, because it's not the Fire Prometheus anymore. But we'll keep BB up there. I'm wearing a reindeer onesie, right, Quacksack? I got this for Christmas for our charity stream, and we hit another goal last night for our charity stream, which makes it so I have to wear this ridiculous reindeer costume. Yeah, my data's gonna go save somebody, I'm happy to say. Okay, at this point, machine lifeforms recognize that the goal of defeating the enemy actually required an enemy. In order to maintain their singular objective, they reached the contradictory conclusion that their current enemies, the androids, could not be annihilated completely, lest they no longer have an enemy to defeat. In order to resolve this inherent contradiction, the machine lifeforms began to intentionally cause deficiencies in their network, diversifying the vectors of evolution for all machines. This is the cause behind some of the more special machine lifeforms, like Pascal and the Forest King. Meanwhile, the deficient network began repeating the process of self-repair, while incorporating surrounding information, until it finally reached a fixed state as a new form of network. Traces of information regarding human memories from the quantum server of the old model were discovered, indicating that it had integrated them during the final stages of its growth process. Said server contained a record of the discarded Project Gestalt, as well as information on the human who was the first example of the Gestalt process. Okay. So when machines evolved too far, they killed the aliens. I don't know when that happened. I don't think it's like when you find those alien bodies. I don't think Adam and Eve just went in there and broke them up. I think like that had happened quite some time back. Because like it would need to have happened for somebody like Pascal. It has to have happened at least 250 years ago. Because that's when the Forest King breaks his maintenance, his like line to the connection. His line to like the collective machine consciousness, decides to revolt. So, those aliens have been dead and dusty for quite some time. So that's interesting. Meanwhile, the deficient network began repeating the process of self-repair and incorporating surrounding information until it reached a fixed state as a new form of network. They integrated some human stuff like Project Gestalt. Having acquired information regarding humanity, the network structure changed once more, becoming what might be better called a meta-network, or a concept, or the words of the machines. Okay, so once they learned about humanity, the network evolved and formed the Ghost Girls. Hey, Calastia, that is a creepy emote. I'm not sure if I like that one. But it's good to see you. So then, to sum up, for hundreds of years, we've been fighting a network of machines with the ghost of humanity at its core. We've been living in a stupid fucking world where we fight an endless war that we couldn't possibly lose, all for the sake of the Council of Humanity and the Moon that doesn't even exist. This is from Jackass, by the way. This is her report. I don't know what the point of all this is, but I swear I'll kill every evolutionary dead-end machine life form, as well as every single asshole behind Project Yorha. I'm coming for all your heads. Fuck you. Information Analysis Officer Jackass. Here's my report, and fuck you. I yield my time. So good. Jackass does not have like a full beefy thing here? This is ridiculous. Jackass has so many like critical points in the game. Wowee. Boise. Pod 042 and 153. Tell me about pods. Let's learn a little bit about pods. Tell me about the pods. Let's learn about pods. I yield my time, yeah. Her name is literally Jackass. Isn't that great? Okay. 042 and 153 are tasked with carrying out the completion of Project Yorha once 9S at A2 battle. Choosing either ending will cause the pods to start the deletion of all the Yorha files, but 042 denies the request and questions what they're doing. If the player decides to stop the deletion of the memories, they're introduced into a hacking game. However, if they decide to delete the data, the credits will roll and ending E will not be earned. Interesting. In the end, Pod 042 decides to commit suicide. Becoming self-aware of themselves and what they're doing, 042 and 153 like, that part is a little vague to me. How? Dang. 042 really was having a tough time, huh? Players could have obtained the pod through the revival of NieR Automata X Sino Alice. Gotcha. Interesting. Let's read about 153. They're mainly loaded with various weapons for long-range attacks. Their correspondence from the command center and exchange operational unit, blah blah blah. It's black and red. Nothing about that. Okay. Interesting. Section is empty. Wow, nothing about 153. That's a bummer. If it says anything about 006, maybe skip it. Oh, jeez. Really? There's more? Is 006 like in... What could that possibly spoil for me? I would love to know if like what game is 006 in? Or is that in like the audiobook or a comic or something? Let's learn a little bit more about 210. I want to learn a little bit about 210. Why did she go rogue at the end of it? Despite her cold exterior, 210 harbors a secret longing for a family. She first hints at this as 9S completes side quests for her that involve searching for relics of an old world, where she responds to findings with interests where the relics pertain to human familial behavior. In the 9S mission to disable machine defenses at the start of the third game cycle, if 9S fully deactivates the air defenses, 210 will offer 9S a gift that she will put in her room. After monitoring this mission, 210 is not heard from again until much later. Yeah, that's right, there's like this huge break where 9S infiltrates the God Box Resource Center. There, it's revealed that 210 voluntarily converted to a B unit, becoming 21B for the Yorha mass assault that was thwarted by the Logic virus outbreak. Infected by the virus herself, 210 struggles as she fights 9S, pleading that she just want to be a part of a family. Oh, I missed that dialogue when I was fighting her. I think I just did too good at hacking her. And then she pleads for 9S to kill her. 210 was killed when A2 appears from behind and runs her through. Though A2 manages to grant 210's wish to die and saves 9S, the event only furthers 9S's breakdown. Dang, that sucks. The stun chip. Yeah, I think you're right. Block the dialogue. Her dimensions? Fuck off. The obsession with dimensions. Alrighty. During the escape from the bunker, following the Logic outbreak and Route C, 2B and the others will pass by 6O's quarters. If the player finishes 6O's quest, an extra dialogue will trigger in which a corrupted 6O thanks 2B for the flower. I remember that, yeah. Okay. I don't want to know her freaking measurements. Please get out of there. Okay, so there's cool stuff for me to read. You post in the Discord game spoilers. It might be a little lengthy to read now, though. Okay, maybe we'll read it another day. Maybe that's why she was... yeah, why was 210 patronizing to 9S? Also, she becomes a Type B unit. That is, as we learn, a unit created to destroy 9S units. To destroy these scanner units. Like, she literally becomes the exact thing that is perfect for killing 9S. Like, that's why her being condescending, like... honestly, is so much funnier later. It makes so much more sense later when she becomes a unit specifically made to destroy him. Although, technically they're battle units, so... That's true, Lydia, and it's easy to sound patronizing. You're trying to be nice and you've got no experience. Why was she trying to be nice to 9S, though? There's, like, no reason. Yeah, Zitari. So, in the game, they explained that, like, the designation 2B, like the B units, are basically just E units in disguise. They're supposed to be killers. They probably explain that here. Personality. She's a very kind person deep down. I know it's something A2 says, where she's just like, 2B was made to destroy you, but she didn't want to keep doing it again and again. Yeah, the Eliminator units, although they have a different designation, like 2B is essentially created to kill 9S. There you go. 2B was created an unspecified amount of time before the events of the game as a part of the new Yorha line. She was given the designation 2B as a cover by the commander, who gave her orders to observe one of the newer scanner models in action during Yorha's operations against the machines. Her role was to ensure that 9S would not discover the true nature of Project Yorha by executing him in case he dug in too deep because of his natural curiosity programmed into him. Over the course of hundreds of operations, 2B was forced to kill 9S and wipe his memory countless times, an act that she came to hate for the pain it caused after bonding with him over that time. It's revealed in the orchestra concert that 2B killed 9S 48 times. How about that? In Route B, 9S collects items from humans that have children toys around the time when she started thinking about having a family. Yeah, I remember that quest. I have not heard the stories that were told by the VAs. Was that here? What they reference here? The orchestra concert, RE12018? Yeah, interesting. No, I haven't heard those yet. Fascinating stuff, though. Yeah, I want to learn more about NieR Automata because, like, I feel like by the end, they pile so much wild stuff on you that I was like, what? Happening? The whole, like, reveal upon reveal upon reveal at the tower was, like, this deluge, really. Yeah, the freaking concerts even have lore. Come on. Ridiculous. Is there anything else to learn? Okay, that's Soul Calibur. Cool. Oh, and trivia. The large sword that 2B wields in the official artwork. The Beast Lord is one of the signature weapons used by the protagonist in the original NieR Gestalt. Interestingly, in any hacking sequence where one of the female character models is used instead of the usual pointer, the large sword in their back will always be the Beast Lord. How about that? And of course, 2B's name is a reference to the to be or not to be speech in Shakespeare's Hamlet. Neat. You would post the stories here to link to the stories and videos. Here, I'll oh wait, I can't do that in this thing. I can permit that. Zachari, are you in our Discord though? Oops, I'm a dingus bangus. If you are in our Discord, you can post that in our game section though, Zachari. If you want me to be able to open that up another time, because I think we're gonna be wrapping up soon. A2 is still the hardest character for you to understand. You keep thinking your motivation is simple, but you might be missing stuff. Let's crack open A2's page. That'll be the last thing we do. Let's see A2. I mean, A2's motivation is to kill all machines, not because she is simply programmed for that, but because it is her vengeance for her comrades that she lost when she was sent down to Earth. Ah, no worries, Atari. I'll copy that. Oh yeah, I got all the weapon stories, by the way. Hey, Mademoiselle Canary, thank you so much. Precious things. Okay, so that's a link to precious things. Interesting. Oh wow, cool. Okay, wow. Can't believe that they have so much extra content for this game, this whole series. A2 is a Yorha prototype that specializes in close quarters combat. Okay. The fact that she... Wow, is this really all they got on A2? Are you kidding me? See also A2? Okay. Okay, there it is. The notes at the bottom are links to them, have videos for it. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. And Mademoiselle Canary, thank you again for those bits. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well today. So 3 years prior to the events of NieR Automata... Wow, that was only 3 years prior? She was a member of the 1st Yorha Squadron deployed to Earth as a part of the Pearl Harbor descent during the early years of the 14th Machine War. Her alias was Number 2, which is parsed in Automata as Number 2. Okay. A2 was part of the experimental Yorha Squadron. The fact that, like, I still am like... I get she kills the Forest King because she hates all machines, but damn, you really just hecked everything up with that. And she only kills one forest machine, just the king. That seems a little spiteful. Okay. It seems pretty spiteful. Yeah, right? So, like... Was 2B... created after A2? I thought 2B is like... 2B is kind of modeled after A2, isn't she? She's a prototype, and combat data from her and her comrades is used to create superior alliance, like 9S and 2B. Okay. So, 3 years. Let's just say it takes, like, a few months, at least, to, like, make 2B and 9S. 2B and 9S have been killing, like, they've been killing each other and wiping each other's data for, like, well, I should just say 2B is killing and wiping 9S's data for like 2 years. She kills him 48 times. Jeepers. Each time when she gets too close, or 9S gets too close to learning the secret of Yorha. Yeah, we just read that, Talmud. The E-models are based on A2's personality. Yeah. Yeah, because, like, she was able to kill her own comrades as they got infected by the logic virus. So, of course, they would model 2B and the E line off of A2 because she was extremely efficient in killing androids despite her friendship towards them. Yeesh. Let's see. Yeah, A2 mentions that Command was the one who betrays them. I gotta find out more about Command. Give me them spoilers, though. Give me some spoiler stuff. Primary attacks, I don't care. As a boss, I don't care. A2 is initially depicted as mysterious and taciturn. However, she has an aggressive and fiery personality. Her propensity towards reckless behavior, as she will dive headlong into a dangerous situation. She also goes, like, full-on berserk as well. After the death of her squadron, her hatred for machines and desire for the destruction becomes encompassing and defines the rest of her continued existence. However, her self-imposed mission of vengeance also serves as the means to distract her from her inner turmoil and regret, as she privately longs to be with her dead comrades. That's probably why, at her ending, she's like, don't worry guys, I'm a-comin'. Do we go? She reluctantly took 2B's life at her request so that she would not suffer the agony and insanity of the logic virus that deteriorated her mind. She allowed Pascal to live. She assisted him. She expressed sadness over the death of the machine children. She continuously spared and reached out to 9S despite 9S being such a little heck boy and trying to kill her. Replaying 2B's story after ending the game has some great moments. See how conflicted she is, but how she represses it. Yeah. And it just comes off as cold the first time. Right, yeah. I would love to like... I don't know if I could play it again, but I would love to casually watch somebody else play this game again and just see how she interacts with 9S. Pod 042 has insinuated that A2's AI parameters are not to the standard of current Yorha models. She often requires him to simplify terms for her to understand. Okay. Okay, this is in a different game, which I'm sure is entirely canon as well. A2 has the false memories of a young girl who lived happily with her grandmother on a farm. Hey, how did you get that in there? Why and how? Why would they... Okay, and her... Nobody cares. While A2 doesn't self-destruct, she loses the midsection of her clothing when activating Berserk mode. Here's her tummy, everybody. A2 being shown with long hair was a deliberate attempt to conceal 2B's death in advertisements. Since 2B has short hair, it was thought the audience would assume that short-haired A2 was severely damaged 2B instead of an A2 that would cut her hair. Cute. A2's name is a reference to the apocryphal last words of Julius Caesar, A2 Brute, and you Brutus, spoken to his traitorous friend Brutus as the latter stabbed him. This line was made famous by Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, although it did not originate with it. It was a twofold reference, both as their alleged traitor status and her own betrayal by Yorha. Okay. You were kind of enjoying the Rage of 9S? Yeah, I think I was enjoying it too. It was a fun thing to watch happen. Tell me about Command. Commander White. This will be... Oh no, it's midnight! Anything? She carries a riding crop. This is done by officers in some modern militaries as a badge of authority. Okay. I don't care about her sizes. Get the hell out of here. Despite being called a hard ass by 9S, it is revealed by 6-0 that the commander actually leaves her clothes strewn all over her private quarters and rarely does maintenance on her body because she's a nasty girl. She be nasty. They know nothing about Commander. Nothing is known about Commander. Nothing. This is ridiculous. There's no reference to like the relationship between AT and the Commander. Wild. Yeah, it's 11. Did I say it was midnight? I'm sorry. It is 11 though, which means I have to wrap up for the evening. But this was fun. Getting some lore info for more info on NieR Automata. This was a nice way to round out the evening. Did a lot of different stuff today. We played some Ring Fit. We did some Unmetal. And we learned some more about NieR Automata. I hope you guys don't mind the little lore exploration, because that was a bunch of fun. And it's also good to do that with you guys, because like I don't know if I'm gonna wander into spoiler territory with Pod 006. Who would even know? Gonna get me to read the kitty poem. Oh yeah, that's right. The Angry Cat Puke Bazooka is a poem I wrote in high school. Sadly, I'll have to read that another time, folks.